Hello, time for our fun fold card of the February card class. And I called this a stand-up shelf card, but I'm sure it has another name for it. I just stumbled across it on our demonstrator Facebook group. We have all sorts of great projects that people post. So I found the measurements to this card and I thought, oh, that'd be really cute for the trusty toolbox paper. And if you have the trusty toolbox stamp set, you could also add some tools hanging from this little shelf piece. And there is a little piece that makes it look like, or a die cut that makes it look like that board where you hang all your tools on with all the little holes in. So that would be really cute in this panel too. But anyhow, I had fun putting this card together and I just decorated it really simply. I just used 3 different pieces of the designer paper and then the hexagon with enjoy your day. I thought that would be a good masculine birthday card. If you do get the stamp set, I used Heartfelt Hellos. It's free during celebration in February. The trusty toolbox papers, a different freebie during celebration, so you can stack up as many as you want to get. And it has Dad, You're the Best. So that is also a great option for this particular card if you wanted to use that sentiment. So really fun stamp set. It's got a Happy Mother's Day as well, and thinking of you this Easter. Easter's early this year, so if you are going to be crafting for Easter, make sure you get your supplies early because it's in at the end of March this year. Okay, so if you have a kit, all your cardstock's already scored. So we've got 4 different scores for this piece, and then there's 3 scores on the little piece that goes this way. Okay, and it's a while since I made my sample, so bear with me as I remember how to put this together. I'm just going to lightly fold my pieces and before I put my designer series paper on, just so I know where everything's going to go, because I want to make sure I get my paper on the right side because it's not all going to go on the same side. Okay, so that's what the bottom piece is going to look like when it's all put together. So I am going to want to put my big piece of designer paper right there, and I'm going to go ahead and use the tools one this time. I used the one with kind of the looks a little more like a background on the other one, and that was what my glue's giving out here, so I need to use the big end of it. And get that piece on. And if you didn't have the tool box or the tools stamp set and dies, you could always do some fussy cutting from the paper too. So fussy cut some of these little tools out to add to a masculine card. So that's going to be that piece. And then I'm going to need my little skinny piece with all the little screwdrivers is going to go on this piece right here. So that's actually going to be on the opposite side of the paper, which is why I decided to lay it all out first so I could figure out which side to put it on. So that piece will go there. All right, so that one is all ready to put together. So my my piece of sticky strip is going to go right there because that's what's going to hold it down. So let me make sure I get that on the right side as well. So the card is very simple put together as long as you get everything on the right side of the card so that you can assemble it correctly. All right. Now when I put this together, I believe, okay, it's got to go right there. So I think what I did was I just folded it completely down at the bottom here, just like this one. Yeah, you can see on my sample. Folded it down there, and that way I got my sticky strip piece at exactly the right spot so that it folds up. And then when you're folding the card to mail it, it folds up like this. But when I stuck it on, I folded it down just so it helped me get that piece in the right position. All right, now we'll work on our second piece, and this one has 3 score lines, and it's just kind of adding a shelf, a top shelf to this piece. So this that piece will go sort of towards the bottom, but we're gonna again let it lay out where it goes when we put our sticky strip on. So first the paper, so we're gonna put our last piece of designer paper in that little spot right there. And just kind of center that in, leaving little gaps all around it. And I decided not to put dimensionals on mine. You can if you want, but I figured this card was really pretty thick with all these different layers, so I just glued on my, whoops, I didn't stamp, but I can do that before I always stamp first. All right, here's my Enjoy Your Day. Gray Granite ink is what matches, and I have to do it right because I already glued it on, but I could always put another one on top. Okay, Enjoy Your Day. In Gray Granite, because that's a good masculine color. Okay, now it's time for the sticky strip again. So I'm going to look at my sample again to decide where the sticky strip needs to go. And it needs to go, I mean, tear and tape. I keep saying sticky strip, but it's tear and tape. It needs to go right there. And we'll get my card out. Oh, you know what? I also need to put a piece at the bottom here because it needs to stick to the bottom as well. Now this part might be a little tricky getting this one down. And look at my sample, and you guys can look at the picture to make sure you're getting everything in the right spot. So that curves down like that. Now, okay, if I curve my piece like that, completely flat, so there's tear and tape there, there's tear and tape there, then I can center it right on this top section where all the designer series paper is. So I'm actually going to center it on the designer series paper itself. So that leaves a tiny little gap underneath and then a tiny little gap at the top. And then that is the exact right spot for it to go. Yay, it worked. So there is a side view of the two shelves. And there is a front view. And there is a top view. And when you fold it, it goes like that into a standard size card. And when somebody gets it, they can just stand it up like that and enjoy their day. Hope you enjoyed that project. The PDFs are posted in the private group right here if you're watching this on Facebook. And I do have a few kits left if you're watching this in the middle of February. So just let me know if you'd like a kit so that you can make this card for yourself. Happy crafting!